What's going on, everyone? It's the boy back at it. It's been a minute since I did some unboxing like this, but I've seen these pretty much everywhere. These are actually like fake AirPods, and I've seen these online. They seem like they do a pretty good job. I'm going to compare them to real AirPods, but here's the interesting thing. I've seen a lot of these that were sold for around like the $50 price mark. I got these ones straight from eBay for $19, okay? This was not like some random Chinese website. I didn't get these from Wish or Alibaba or anything. This was straight from eBay. Now, the people who I bought these from probably bought them from there, but it's whatever. And I looked on the pictures and they looked like they were pretty decent, and I'm looking at the box, and honestly for $19, it was actually like $19.69, but the number 69 is super inappropriate, so I'm not even gonna put it in there. And just looking around the box, man, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look like horribly like fake in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't feel cheap at all, but honestly, I mean, compared to Apple's, this doesn't feel like Apple's box, but it doesn't look that bad, honestly. Oh Jesus, I dropped my knife, thank God it wasn't on. We're gonna go ahead and box this thing. If you guys can't tell from my arm, like I'm gaining like 10 pounds every day. I gotta like lose some weight. The box does feel a lot cheaper than the original AirPods box, but that's okay. You only paid $19 for this thing. And before we go too deep, one thing I've seen with all these is that they're called TWS i10 or i something. I don't really understand what the TWS stands for, but the i10, I think that's just the version number. I don't even know. On the back though, we do have a picture of the AirPods, which is kind of cool. And then down here we have some like funny information. I don't know if there's actually a 3000. Oh, at first I thought that said 3700 milliamp-hour battery. I'm like, that's impossible. And you got some other information that you probably don't even care about in there. Alright, this is one of the hardest unboxings I've ever done. Alright, here we go. Okay, I got it unscrewed. And this is what they look like out of the box. Okay, so from first glance, I can tell you, okay, so they come in this little plastic little thing, so that's cool. I'm gonna tell you right now, from being in the plastic bag, they feel pretty decent, alright? And once they're out, they honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, we're gonna get into these in a second, but from what I'm seeing, okay, they feel kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie. Not as like glossy as the original AirPods, but they don't feel that bad if I'm being honest. Inside we have the lightning charger, which is awesome. You also have a manual nobody really cares about. Alright, so that's it basically for the unboxing part. Now looking at the actual AirPods, this is kind of interesting, okay? So upon first glance, if I was just looking at these from a distance, I would 100% think that these were real, alright? I know I just dropped them, but I see absolutely nothing that tells me that these would be fake, okay? Now, right from the bottom, you can probably tell like they're a little cheap or they're a little different because this one does have that little like silver lining around it. And you can see that the real AirPods, which are on to my left, are a little bit thicker, just about a little bit, but you wouldn't really be able to tell. From the front, you can see that these AirPods, the fake ones, are a different color, and in the hand, they definitely do feel lighter. The real AirPods feel much heavier than the fake AirPods. And again, like I said, the size is probably the biggest thing on the back. Again, they almost look identical, but they're almost the same size. It's just the fake ones are just a little bit bigger. The top does have a little bit clickiness to it, like when you open it, it is a kind of satisfying, just like how the real ones, they honestly like, the real ones do feel a little bit more premium, I feel like. This one feels a little bit cheap plasticky. Especially the top, it doesn't feel as heavy. Like it clicks up and clicks down. It just feels a little bit more cheap, but it's not that big of a deal. Now let's go ahead and take these out, okay? And so when you do take these out, okay, I just saw these. They do have the buttons on the side of them. I did not see these in the actual photos. I'm pretty sure they showed like photos of real AirPods, but I think you actually do have to connect these singly. So you have to hold these down and then each connect them to the device, and then you can like pour them like there. So you can see this one's on, and then this one you can turn on like this. So that right there is a pretty big factor of how you can tell these are fake. I've seen ones where you don't necessarily have to do that every time, so that these are a little bit different. But again, these were $19, so you're kind of paying for what you get for. But honestly, if you keep them straight from the box, if you keep them in this thing, you will not be able to tell that big of a difference in my opinion. I'm kind of curious on what the sound quality is though. So as you can see, we have one of them on. I'm going to go ahead and try to connect to it. Let's see what happens. Just actually put it in my ear and it feels completely weird. Like I can easily tell how like cheap this thing feels. And I'll definitely say that I think it's the noise canceling part that's like kind of a little weird. Honestly, it doesn't sound like completely horrible. There's a lot of white noise in the background, so I'm pretty sure that's the noise canceling thing. But on top of that, there's a little bit of delay. Like when I put up and down the volume, it just seems like it's like takes like an extra second for it to like register. And I see the same thing with my car. It takes like an extra second or two, like 3 seconds even, to like change the song or something. And like if I exit out of this, it will noticeably take much longer than if I just like use my AirPods, for example. And with my AirPods, the real ones for that matter, it's like almost instant. When I like take them out and put it back in, they're like good. And I like change the volume up and down, everything works, like it's almost instant. With these ones though, it's like a little bit of a lag. That's the main thing I noticed. The sound quality isn't horrible. It's just that there's a little bit of white noise in the background, but I mean, you can get over that. I think the biggest problem for me would probably be these two buttons on the side. I feel like that really takes away the premiumness of it. I feel like they could almost pull it off if they just took those out. But honestly, if I'm being completely 100% honest, if they're in the box, they literally almost feel like perfect as soon as you slide them in. Like they have that like magnetic feel on the bottom. So they just like connect, and I'm pretty sure they won't fall out. Yeah, so it's good. As you can see, there is a little bit of a light inside too. So here's a little test, okay? I'm gonna bring both the AirPods right next to each other. You have to tell me which one's the fake one, alright? So which one of these is the fake one? You can probably kind of tell the back is a little bit harder, but the fact that they're a little further away from each other, you probably won't be able to tell. Now you can tell because the one on the left is the fake one, the one on the right is the real one. So let's now try this again, okay? I'm gonna show you the fake AirPods and the real AirPods at separate times, and then you have to tell me which one's the real one and which one is the fake one, alright? So here's exhibit A. I'm not gonna show you the bottom because you can be able to easily tell, but here's the first one. And here's the second one, okay? This is exhibit B. So which one of those was the fake one? The first one or the second one, whatever. And if you answered that the first ones were the real ones, you answered wrong. The first ones were the fake ones. The second ones were the real ones. And like I said, you won't be able to tell from like a distance. As long as you're not comparing them side by side, you can tell now because the fake ones have a much different color. But in the back, I'm actually pretty surprised by how well these ones are. They're not perfect. They still have a long ways to go. I'm sure the new updated ones are much better, but the fact that this one is $19 is pretty extreme. Would I pay $19 for it? Honestly, if I had to flex in front of everybody, if I had to just like be popular for some reason, and I didn't have the money and means to do so, then yeah, I would probably buy it. But I feel like you can probably get better headphones that are not generic ripoffs for less than this. You can get like pretty decent headphones for like around $20 that are wireless, so. But really nothing comes close to the real AirPods, and the AirPods 2 are just even better. But for $19, bro, I'll be honest, for AirPod clones, it's not bad. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.